To be honest, guys, this week's video is kind of my favorite. This video has taken me about 2 months to finish, but it was so worth it. Today we're doing a challenge, and I say challenge loosely, and it's Tarot Decides What I Draw. I saw Lavender Town do it, and since I love me some tarot, I thought, hey, this is a cool idea. Her video will be linked down in the description below. So if you don't know what tarot is, it's basically cards with pictures on it, and each picture has a meaning / interpretation. You can take that meaning or interpretation and apply it to your life. Tarot isn't a tell-all know-all, and you shouldn't be asking it, will I go to the grocery store today? It's basically you digging inside yourself and getting called out on your shit. So now that that is out of the way, for this challenge, I wanted to do paintings because it's been a while since I've actually done a painting, and this was a good opportunity to do so. For this first drawing, I used the Dreaming Way Tarot for my first round of cards. It was supposed to be a test round, but I ended up liking the drawing a lot. In Lavender Town's video, her first card was the mood and or theme, the second card was the description of the character, and the third was the environment. How I pick cards are when a card jumps out during the shuffling phase. That's the card I end up using. The cards I got were the 7 of Wands, the 8 of Swords, and 10 of Pentacles. So our mood and theme is competition and or overcoming odds. Our descriptor of the character is isolation, and our environment is a family and or establishment. I decided to draw a guy who was isolated or self-isolated and wraps in a maze of a courtyard, slicing through bushes trying to overcome this isolation and getting out of the maze, which in itself is a challenge. As I said, I really like this painting, and I'm not sure if it's because it had a select overlay over it, because the mood of it is like a blue kind of mood, and when I think of isolation I think of blue. So I really enjoyed that, and the only actual pop of color is a gold color used for the buckles for the wraps around the guy, as well as a fountain in the back, which I at some point was going to get rid of, but I ended up keeping it because I just really like the idea of a fountain, and that's like the middle part of the courtyard. And I want to tell you guys why I decided to go with a courtyard. Since I got in a family / establishment for my environment, I immediately thought of like some, I can't remember the movie, but it's basically when like people who have like castles or really big houses have like a courtyard in their backyard where it's like a maze of like bushes. That's what I immediately think of. Kind of like in Beauty of the Beast, that courtyard, but no, that's not. I can't remember the movie I'm thinking of, but just know courtyards, fancy, large, and big, and I thought I'd make it a maze because that's part of the challenge, I guess, because mazes are hard, and when I think of mazes, I think of labyrinths, and labyrinths are like super hard and to get out of, allegedly. So yeah, and I think the descriptor was a little hard for me to get around because it said isolation, and isolation for each individual can be different. And I think I went with the original card for the Eight of Swords, which is in the Universal Tarot deck. And I think that person's wrapped up. I'm not sure, but don't quote me on that. But yeah, I thought I would do that. And because of that, I also thought I would give them a sword, because it's Eight of Swords. And they're trying to fight their way out. I feel like I'm kind of repeating myself, but I want to make sure, my message has gotten across. For this kind of last bit of this first painting, guys, I had this overlay over my picture, and it looked like rain, and it looked really good. But anytime I would zoom in, it wouldn't look as great. So I ended up doing a screenshot of the smaller picture because I think it looked way better smaller, like the rain coming down. But that's neither here nor there. That's just something I need to figure out, these effects. But yeah, this is my first painting. For my second round of cards, I used the tarot deck called Ghost and Spirits Tarot. This deck is different from our first deck because, as well as the meaning that already comes with the card, the deck has ghosts and spirits that correspond to the meanings of each card. And I know each author and or illustrator of a deck can interpret these cards differently from each other, but there is some type of overarching theme and feel that the cards have. My first card was the King of Cups, which is also the Ghost of Hamlet. My second card is the Page of Wands, and that is, I'm probably butchering this name, but I'm just letting you know beforehand. Acheri, it's spelled Acheri. Yeah, I don't know how to say that. And our last card is Ace of Wands, which is Will-o'-the-Wisp. So basically, our mood is the pursuit of happiness and or family. Our descriptor was explorer. And our environment was kind of hard to figure out, so I took it straight from the illustration of the card and decided on Forest of Lights. If I'm being honest, this is kind of my least favorite illustration / painting. So guys, there's a lot going on in this painting, and I think that is why I didn't like it. I was overworking the foreground and not working enough on the background, because the foreground was supposed to be where all the lights and stuff were, and like it just wasn't clicking, I guess. So basically, to tell you guys what is what in the painting. So since our mood was to pursuit of happiness and or family, I decided to have a dad and his child going down to go see the fairy lights on the trees. And basically, that is our mood and environment. As for our descriptor, I chose explorer. So I guess it's more of the family going to explore this, what may have you, the lights and the trees. And yeah, that is basically the whole overarching thing. But I just feel like I could not get this message across because I was trying to figure out how to make it more visually compelling, I guess, with the foreground and the background. And like, I feel like I did too much with the foreground just to make it stand out way too much, and it stands out a lot. And because of that, it feels a little muddy with all the lights and all the textures of the tree compared to like the background. It just feels like a lot, and I didn't know what to do. So yeah, this really isn't my favorite painting, but I ended up taking a break and stepping back from the painting. And when I did that, I think my boyfriend was here, and he was like, yo, like, there's a lot going on in this picture. Are you sure you want to, like, do this? And so I ended up making the trees, as you see, more defined and having less texture in them. If I'm being honest with you guys, I don't think anything I could have done could have saved this painting. I think I just, in general, overworked the painting. And just, I feel like I would have to have started over to get what I want. And I don't think, and I'm lazy, guys, like I'm really lazy, so I probably wouldn't have started over. So this is me pushing through, trying to fix my large ass mistakes and not really getting far, but kind of getting far. I don't know, I feel like I got somewhere, but it just wasn't what I wanted. I don't know, guys, it was a lot. This is just my least favorite painting, and just, I don't know, guys, just, I really wanted this to work, but it didn't work. And maybe it's because I didn't add more of the light source behind, because it looks super dark on the, in the background. And maybe because there's so much going on in the foreground. I don't know, but if I ever try and do a piece like this with the foreground and the background and the lights and all of that, I think I'm gonna be super cautious and start with the background and then move to the foreground, because that seems way better. For my last round of cards, it is coming from the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit Oracle deck. And Oracle decks are different from Tarot decks. Tarot is a bit more structured with its standard meanings behind the cards, and most Oracle decks are just kind of flow-freeing. Each deck is different and have different things written on them, from quotes to one-liners, or just, you know, a really nice sentence that just makes you feel good one day. So yeah, even though this is not a tarot deck, we still used it because I really like this deck. My first card was the bear. The second was the stingray, and my last card was the wolf. the mood for this drawing is waking from a spiritual slumber. Our descriptor was taken literally, so I decided to draw stingrays. And our environment has to do with a family and or tribe. So, because our environment had to do with family and tribe, I had a group of stingrays, and that is basically the tribe, because wolves go in packs, so I thought these stingrays would go in packs. And I'm not really sure how that ties into the environment, but I just, we're taking several steps off of the meanings. So because I took our descriptor literally, there are actual stingrays, and I think this is fun. I feel like for some of the stingrays, mainly the one that is in the front, I did not make the tail long enough. I don't know why, or maybe in my sketch it was longer, but I ended up not doing that. I still don't know why. So that is that. And our mood of the drawing was supposed to be waking from a spiritual slumber. So this is more of, like, I guess a backstory. Not really backstory, but backstory. So basically, you know how bears hibernate? Basically, these stingrays were hibernating, and now they are on their way to, well, they've woken up and they're on their way to whatever stingrays do in the wild. I don't know, I was really like iffy on this first card, but I really like the whole message of everything with all the cards intertwined, and I really like this drawing, guys. Like, this is my favorite drawing of the 3, just because I feel like I put more, I don't know, not that I put more work into this, but I feel like because it's so simple, it just worked, you know? Like, if my last drawing was more simple, I feel like it could have worked. So yeah, so we have our stingrays flying around trees, and trees are like my comfort. So if you ever see me drawing lots of trees, that is why. That is my comfort, like, environment to draw. So basically these trees are underwater, and we will eventually get to that, but yeah, the trees are underwater, and I thought it was super cool to have them underwater. At first I was just gonna have them like flying through the air, but that didn't make sense. And I wanted it to kind of make sense. So basically these trees are submerged, so maybe, you know, global warming took over and the ice caps melted and all of the water is like really high and in the trees, and these stingrays have awoken from their spiritual slumber to go do whatever it is stingrays do. My explanations for these are just really kind of shitty, but that's how I feel about these. This is how I went about it. I did like take notes on how I wanted to do my thing, because I had to figure out which word or like phrase I was going to take from each card, because each card has different meanings and different things going with it. So I wanted to pick something that was not easy, but something that I could do or I just felt really strongly about. And I don't know, guys, just I really like this picture, and I hope you guys like it too. It should be the thumbnail for this video. And yeah, guys, I'm so sorry that this is such a long video. I don't remember the last time I posted such a long video. But we out here, boys. And I really want to thank you guys if you made it this far, because wow, we're like 20 minutes in and this is insane. Because you guys made it so far into the video, please leave some penguins down in the comment section so I know people actually got to the end. And yeah, I just want to see how many people actually got to the end. And it's always great to see penguins in the comment section. It makes my day. Yeah, so if you guys haven't already, you can subscribe to the PenguinEsk channel. We do artsy videos here. Yeah. I want to thank you guys so much for watching and all of that jazz. I know this video is long, but I do hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making the art for this video. And if you want to check out more videos, there will be a end card and, well, end cards. So check those out if you haven't already. And yeah, have a good day, guys. Bye.